What up, SNA Assassinators? This is Super Ninja Austin back here with another SNA podcast video. And this is the Bad Blood review video on October 5th, 2024. And what a magnificent pay-per-view or / premium live event of tonight's show of WWE's. It was partially not the way I expected it to happen, especially the main event, which I'll say, even though there was some interference, but in favor of the baby faces, though, because we saw a minor shocking surprise, but other than that, and maybe the women's world championship and the women's championship and the opener of the Hell in a Cell match was not exactly how I predicted it, but I'll say the women's world championship I partially got right of, but like halfway. But yeah, and I got like 2.5 predictions right, while the other half, 2 out of the 5. But the other half was just like I don't know, it was just something that was completely shocking in its own way, and I thought there was gonna be an appearance of a certain somebody, but we're gonna get to that in just a moment. But I can tell you in references, I could say this was a really great pay-per-view that they just booked right here, which it should be on the top 10 list of the WWE Premium Live events in WWE in 2024 of the year, I guess you could say, so far. And also let me know down in the comment section right down below on what's your for y'all's opinions, for those that watch WWE Bad Blood. And yeah, we got a finish of the opening match. We also got and we also got a couple of teases, in the WWE Women's Championship, even though it's not exactly how I would predicted it to be. Let alone the other person that I predicted that was going to be in this match was going to be there, but unfortunately that did not happen. And then, yeah, we do got three surprises, 2 that are minor and 1 that is major. Well, one of the minor ones, we haven't seen this person in months, but the other one they haven't seen in months, but only for half a year. But the other one was over half. But yeah, without any further delays, you're gonna understand exactly what I'm talking about tonight's Bad Blood. If I just continue, just get started with start off with Cody Rhodes getting into the building, because they shoot a little vignette with Cody Rhodes has been given an envelope by the chief content officer, Triple H himself, with him saying, "Give this to Metro." This is where Cody Rhodes was like, which Metro are you talking about? This is where Triple H then say damn, how many effing Metros do you know? Did he really just say that? Well, they did not him actually say that, but they bleeped it out. But still, you could allow the fans to chant what they want to chant, but yet you would censor it out when the professionals speak. I mean, they keep them as professional as they can, but come on, they're on a streaming service. I don't think they're gonna mind too much about this. As long as it has a particular rating on it, that will be the only concern that they'll have. If it was TVMA, then they would probably got away with it uncensored, but that'll be a different conversation for a different day. But this is where he gave the offer to Metro Boomin. This is where they head into the building, right into the garage. They saw him when they got out of the car. This is where, Michael Cole even mentioned that he got a chance to meet him when they showed him in attendance. But yeah, this is where we got the host of the 3 hosts of WWE Bad Blood, and that was Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill Naomi, with them introducing the first match, welcoming the Atlanta crowd to this premium live event of October, which this match was totally good, which it featured the biggest arch rivals of WWE, at least on the Raw brand, and that is Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk inside Hell in a Cell, which is exactly 27 years later, when the first Hell in a Cell and the first Bad Blood Premium Live event debuted. When with Michael Cole mentioning that on commentaries, because I'll start with in that match with Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker facing each other, and that was the same night when Kane made his debut, and and went face to face with his kayfabe brother. But enough about that. We're going to be talking about what exactly happened, and that is Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk with them just throwing fists at each other until Drew McIntyre got enough and just tossed CM Punk right to the bottom right side. Then he started. This where the CM Punk. This where Drew McIntyre started hitting some knife edge chops on the CM Punk until he sent him right to the outside in the right corner. This where then he started using the cage as his advantages, like with him tossing him like face first, right onto like try to go face. Well, first he tried to go. But this is where CM Punk put his foot right there to stop him. This is where then we got Drew McIntyre. Then he tried to hit McIntyre's head right into the cage, right into the bottom corner side on the right. But this is where Drew McIntyre stopped him, poked him in the eye, hits him with a right axe handle. This is where he picks up the Chicago-made wrestler. This is where then we got Drew McIntyre hits some knife edge chops. This is where CM Punk then kicks him right in the midsection. But this is where Drew McIntyre hits a forearm strike right to the face. This is where then Drew McIntyre tried to Irish whip Drew McIntyre. This is where Drew McIntyre to Irish whip CM Punk first, but he gets countered, hits back first into the steel. This is where Drew McIntyre gets spine buster back first right into the exact same corner. This is where then CM Punk then start continuing to hit them strikes right onto the Scottish Warrior. This is where then we got Punk then look underneath the ring to see what he could use for his advantage, and because it is a no DQ match, because that's like on every match, like 90% of the time when it's stipulated, whether if it's a false count anywhere, no holds barred, extreme rules, street fight, steel cage, hell in a cell. Like, you get the point. Like, unless they have a special disqualification rule on the line, but that's very rare for like in a contest. Like, that's where then CM Punk tried to grab onto a steel chair after he grabbed out the fan favorite weapon in all of PW, and that is the table. This is where he threw that in the ring. This is where he tried to grab a chair and he tried to whack Drew right in the back, but this is where he turned around right on time, kicks him right in the gut. This is where he stole his chair and started hitting him back first with the exact same degree. This is where then we got. This is where we got Drew McIntyre then continued to do more punishment onto CM Punk, hitting him belly first right onto one of the simple steel steps, which I believe was in the upper right side. Is where he walked right over it, like where CM Punk was hanging right in the mid bottom of it. This is where we got him just stepping onto the head of CM, and he was hitting the face first right onto that exact same thing, and start stomping on him like boom, boom, boom. And this is where then he look underneath the ring. This is where then he then grab onto this is where Drew McIntyre found a black toolbox, and this is where he started looking for some very dangerous tools to use. This is where he's nothing really sharp, like only just the wrenches. Like, this is where he's like, this is what we got to do. This is where he found one particular. This is where he nearly whacked CM Punk's head with it, and tried to drive it right into the rear of the ring post and into the upper right side. But this is where CM Punk moved out of the way. He just started hitting some right hands to the face onto the Scottish Warrior, until he was down right onto the right, in front of the what's that called, onto the steel step. Is where CM Punk grabbed onto that exact same wrench that Drew McIntyre tried to use on it, and Drew McIntyre's plan went backfire when CM Punk's wrench when CM Punk grabbed onto the wrench and started jabbing it to the face, jabbing and driving it into the face of Drew McIntyre. This is where then he rolled out of there trying to get away from Punk, but this is where Punk's like, I'm not done with you yet, and this is where CM Punk then and throws McIntyre right back in the ring.
Yeah,
Mom.
Can you do a couple dishes real quick?
Yeah.
The big pot, the skillet, the silver spatula.
Okay, excuse me for a moment.
And, the strainer.
Okay.
And I got the
pot, the skillet,
and
the
strainer. Okay. Yeah, and I'm gonna get pops for dinner.
Okay.
Nothing in here. These damn pots look fast. Trying to save some of these coats. I probably am like open the strawberry. I'm trying to save it. All this. Oh, wait a minute. No, I can put the pops in here. It's right here. And they went through them damn pops. Them pops didn't wait 5 minutes. I got one on each night. I didn't get two. I got one. I got one strawberry that one night. Got one Coke. Did I get a Sprite? I don't remember. Do straight. I got 3 of these and 3. Fudge. Popped in last 5 seconds. And look at this. When was it? It was right food stamps. I had them since the 2nd. Today's the 5th, so 3 days, 4 days, 4 days ago. I got these 4 days ago. Yeah, I sure did. Right on second of the gun. Second. We didn't have nothing here. Why? We didn't have no food or nothing. I don't have to worry. I have everything in place. So, get 3 strawberries. Yeah. This, this, this. Yeah. I'm gonna take this box and put it in the trash. Excuse me, Sammy. I had to get Pops out of here. I told Julie to do that. Oh my God. 35-31. Arizona won.
I cleaned all the dishes. You're welcome. Glad to help. I clean out all the dishes that you need. You're welcome. All right, SNA Assassinators back here with the review video. And back to the CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre match. It continued with let's see. Where Drew McIntyre bringing the table. This is where he brought CM Punk back in the ring. This is where he started booting him right to the head. And before I get there, I also want to mention that Drew McIntyre hit this very painful looking snake eyes right into right onto what they call the bottom right side part of the cage, the wall of the cage inside the steel demonic structure. He started bleeding out the red stuff, and I was like, uh-oh, it started to look like when the Undertaker took on Mankind back in 1998. But luckily, this was not a complete squash, because CM Punk eventually started fighting back. But this is where it was Drew McIntyre's moment to try to. But this is where we also saw Drew McIntyre was nearly about to use. It broke off a leg from the table, like the first one that they brought in. But this is where he tried whacking on CM Punk, but he stopped him. He kicked him right in the gut. This is where Drew McIntyre tried to grab onto the Punk. But this is where he hits him, trip him over. He hits the Adam's apple first right onto this table, right into the throat. This is where CM Punk to start. He grab onto this. Grab the same leg that Drew McIntyre used on him to make him bleed out the red stuff. This is where then this is where CM Punk started choking with it, but first started nailing it right into his head so he could start bleeding it out. But bleeding it out first before he does, like if it's a first blood match. That's where the CM Punk grab onto Drew McIntyre before he can even escape. This is where the Chicago-made wrestler then hits the Scottish Warrior right in the back first, right onto that table that was laying flat on the ground. This is where then he tried to pick up Drew McIntyre. This is where he hits him back first, driving McIntyre by hitting the back of the head first. This is where Drew McIntyre, the agony. And then this is where the fans start chanting one more time to CM Punk. This is where then we got but this is where the CM Punk to try to gouge Drew McIntyre's eye out right onto the leg. But this is where Drew McIntyre stopped him by punching right in the eye, just right in the corner. This is where we saw Drew McIntyre start. That's where Drew McIntyre start beating the hell out of CM Punk, right into the cage. Right after CM Punk tried to go for a GTS right into the ringside, but this is where he started hitting the face first. He would definitely be guaranteed to be bleeding out the red stuff. This is where then he hits him with a Claymore. And this is where he managed to bring him right back in the ring, but unfortunately he did not go for a cover. I don't know what was the reason why, but this is where we got and this is where then we got what else happened? Where Drew with CM Punk was constantly getting hit with constantly getting hit with very sharp and hard. And this is where then Drew McIntyre then grabbed onto the steel steps when they went right back out. He hit CM Punk's face right with the steel steps, and this is where he hits him face first when he dropped it right down. This is where then. It is where the fans start chanting disgusting, right, to Drew McIntyre, and they want CM Punk to get back in and give him a taste of his own medicine. But at the moment, Drew McIntyre was winning with him, was completely squashing and beating the bloody pulp out of him, and he stomped him right in the back of his head, his face first, right onto the steel step. This is where we got Michael Cole didn't agree with the fans and attendants. It was like, yeah, this is totally disgusting. This is where he started. That's where he started stabbing the. This is where he started trying to stab the same wrench that he got from the toolbox on the CM Punk's head, and started trying to open up more of the bloody wound that was open due to him hitting him right to the cage. This is where then Drew McIntyre then went onto the ringside area, trying to find some kind of a weapon that'll be perfect for the next move to do. But this is where he found the most fan favorite weapon in all of pro wrestling, like which fans love the most. When once he brought it out, is where fans started cheering. I believe that he did it for the fans, much rather than being like much rather for himself, like to put CM Punk in, but let's say he will do so. But it's only just a matter of minutes when it was gonna happen. But this is where we got Drew McIntyre got back in the ring. This is where then he's like, not so easy now, Punk. Like, but don't worry, I will make it easy. But if you allow me, just beat you up some more, just a little bit, until I hit my finisher. And if you stay down, like I'll take it easy on you. And that's where it is like. He's like, this really is disgusting, because it came from CM Punk's flesh. Like, but this will be all worth it. Like, I promised I'm gonna do this to you, and I'm gonna continue to be a man of my word. And this word, then he started being continuously being a man of his words, other than putting Punk away. This is where he tried to snake eye him right to the bottom upper right corner side. This is where CM Punk did the Shining Wizard running knee, try to go for a running bulldog. This is where Drew McIntyre stops him. This is where he then tried to slam him right to the table, like if he was right back in 2012. But this is where CM Punk started hitting some right hands right to the face onto Drew McIntyre. This is where Drew McIntyre followed by Govan. This is where CM Punk then to go up on the top rope, hit a double axe handle. This is where the CM Punk to try to grab on. That's where CM Punk to try to grab onto that exact same wrench to use like a double axe handle. But it's where once he tried to hit the double axe handle on that move, it's where then we got Drew McIntyre intercepted and caught him right in midair. Hits a exploder suplex right on CM Punk, sent him right across the ring. This is where Drew McIntyre. It was like, okay, like I did care of that problem. This is where fans are chanting, "This is awesome." And I was like, to be completely honest, like for agreeing on, because I agree on this, like generally, like because it's a very intriguing showdown. I was like, if the main event doesn't follow through, like as the opener's doing right now, like I would be, like I would definitely put this as the Golden Award, which it was like inches away from about to be, but the show still ended in a very satisfying way, like when it comes to looking at it in the storyline perspective. But I'm gonna get to that in just a moment. But yeah, it was just a pinch away from getting the number one spot, like because this was really good. Like it looked like something that would be in the main event, but this was obviously the opener. So like how it could be the main event if it's starting the show, but it's where Drew McIntyre to try to go for the Claymore to finish off CM Punk. But this is where Punk and Smart got out of there in the ring side and the right side. This is where Drew McIntyre tried to recollect. But maybe it was a bad timing that Drew McIntyre tried to do so, because once he tried to grab on the Punk, he whacked him right in the face with the toolbox. He started leaking out the red stuff. This is where the CM Punk started using that toolbox repeatedly, hitting him right to the face when he got back in the ring. He went up in the top rope. He hits the double axe handle. This is where then he. And that's where then CM Punk then. That's where the CM Punk tried to go for a cover. However, go for a cover, but however that fall through, and they only got him a 2.8 count, I believe. Right, but this is where then CM Punk then. That's where he got him cornered in the upper right corner side. Is where CM Punk then tried to go for the Shining Wizard again, which he was double lucky, like hitting the double whammy. This is where he hit a third attempt, like which it was a triple whammy. This is where he hit the 4-1. He hit a grand slam whammy onto his arch rival. Then he tried to go for a running bulldog, which he successfully did, like which was a guarantee. That was a guarantee. Because the first attempt he tried to go for the running bulldog, he nearly got thrown right to the table, like back in 2012. This is where then CM Punk then was like, who's ready to see Drew McIntyre go night-night? This is where fans are, we want to see it. This is where Drew McIntyre was close of hitting it when after he hit when he was doing that pose. This is where he picks him up. This is where Drew McIntyre started elbowing him in the counter. This is where Drew McIntyre, I believe, tried to go for the Future Shock DDT or something. I don't know in particular. And what else that happened? This is where the Drew McIntyre didn't try to go for a clothesline, but this is where CM Punk try to go for a twisting wrist lock into a neck breaker, turn into a GTS, which he got the guaranteed of the go to sleep right into that what's that called, that camouflage neck breaker, I guess you could say. This is where, but unfortunately for Punk, Drew McIntyre rolled out of the ring before he can even try to attempt to go for a 3 count. This is where then we got. That's where CM Punk try to bring McIntyre back in the ring so he can do exactly what he said he's gonna do, and that is trying to defeat him. This is where this is where the CM Punk then brought Drew McIntyre right back in the ring. This is where then CM Punk then got back in. This is where, but once he got back in the ring, this is where Drew McIntyre claymored him right into the face. This is where Drew McIntyre crawled and tried to go for a cover, but referee counted 1, referee counted 2. This is where CM Punk got the shoulder up at 2.8. Drew McIntyre was in shock. Like, there's no way. Like, he should have been out for 3 like at SummerSlam. And then this is where then CM Punk with an out of breath voice must have responded saying, well, this is a SummerSlam because, one, there's no outside distractions, which I'm not making that as an excuse, but I'm just making a good point. Like, I distracted myself with everybody around me, like with my anger and jealousy get the better of me. This is where the Drew McIntyre didn't grab onto the wrench. He was like, should I do it? This is where he's like, no, I have a better idea. I'm gonna hit him with the Claymore. This is where he knew he did so, but this is where he did not realize that the lightning does not strike twice. He tried to go for the Claymore kick, but this is where Drew McIntyre. This is where CM Punk stepped right back. This is where he landed flat on his back. This is where then he caught his legs. This is where he hit the sharpshooter, like his idol Bret Hart. This is where he got locked in. This is where it looked like at WrestleMania 13 when Bret Hart got the submission locked in with a bloody Steve Austin. This is how Drew McIntyre was kind of like. I was thinking like maybe what's his name, Triple H was right back in 2020. Maybe Drew McIntyre is kind of like a modern day Stone Cold Steve Austin in some capacity, not entirely like everything, but one of them being this right here with Drew McIntyre selling this sharpshooter spot, like with him in a with a bloody face, with him facing onto the canvas, looked like he's about to pass out, but luckily Drew McIntyre countered by hitting CM Punk right in the back with the wrench by grabbing on it, start whacking it for his advantage, making him to break the hold. That's where then we got Drew McIntyre. If you are trying to choke out CM Punk or even drill the wrench right onto the forehead of CM Punk, trying to open up more of his wound, which he looked like at all out back in 2022, like with a bloodied up face. I was like, hopefully he does not feel too tired to do the press conference or start cussing out a journalist or Triple H or even or get into it with someone like I don't know, Seth Rollins perhaps, or maybe a certain tag team like maybe the Judgment Day. I don't know, but yeah, luckily I did not hear no reports about that. But this is where then we got CM Punk then. This is where then we got Drew McIntyre. Then was back up on his feet, like with him not staying down. This is where CM Punk hardly got back up. This is where he's Like, you think you're gonna take me down? This is where he started hitting some left strikes, but this is where Drew McIntyre hit the right. Like, if they're playing wrestling boxing rather than just doing just wrestling. But this is where fans start rooting for CM Punk, start cheering for Punk and booing McIntyre, of course. This is where like, yay, boo, and this is where until we got CM Punk kind of won, try to pick Drew McIntyre up and try to hit the GTS, but the third time wasn't the charm. Is where Drew McIntyre takes some knife edge chops, not giving the darn what Gunther has to say more than Jey Uso does with the OTC Roman Reigns, which I still think he still feels that way to this day. This is where we got Drew McIntyre start hitting some repeated knife edge chops, but the fans start saying "woo," thinking Ric Flair's in the room, but unfortunately he was not in Atlanta tonight. I think he was anywhere in the United States other than this side of the southeast in America. But it's where we got CM Punk. Like, once they start hitting some knife edge chops, which they're on the IOU list, like maybe on the top 10 list, like top with Drew McIntyre on the number 9, while CM Punk's on the number 10 spot of the night, until like CM Punk got tired of hitting chops, so he started hitting some moves that he was feeling comfortable using, and that was the sliding attic roundhouse kick. That's where he knocked Drew McIntyre, but this is where unfortunately he slid right to the right corner side apron. That's where CM Punk. And like, I need to get back up and finally end this nightmarish feud once and for all. As our fans start chanting, "This is awesome," repeatedly. I was like, "Yeah, this is totally awesome." Like, I've never seen a bloody feud like this in years. Like, it's been like maybe since like right before or right after the PG era was even invented. The last time I saw anything like this, it was like some from the Attitude Era, like some that they would likely do more often. But the reason why they were fighting in this bloody way, because they were using some very hard weapons, and they promised this to each other that they're going to make them bleed, which they were a man of their words on that note. But the one thing they weren't a man of their words is that they were going to kill each other, which that's the one thing they did not do, and I was happy that did not occur on tonight's match. But this is where CM Punk hits a Shining Wizard knee strike once they were right into the upper right corner side top turnbuckle. This is where he tried to go over a suplex right on to the right side concrete floor. But this is where Drew McIntyre countered, and this is where then he hit something. They did something that was totally horrifically dangerous, and that was hitting this very that's a very brutal brain buster right onto the top corner, right onto the top upper right corner side, top turnbuckle. It hits this brain buster right through the table like to CM Punk. I thought that was gonna be over for Punk for seeing that low key. Like, I was like, yeah, like CM, like it was fun for CM Punk got the offense while it lasted, and making sure that he will do anything to survive, even though he's not afraid to die. Well, even though he did not do that, but that spot looked like if he was dead, like he sold that like a champ. Like, even though he's not a champion yet, but he totally sold that if he's a graduate of selling, like with him looking like if he's dead after taking that brain buster right off the top, right through the table. It's where Drew McIntyre grabs onto Simba. This is where then he tried to do it right on top, right onto CM Punk. When he start this is where they try to lift up, but he having trouble lifting it up because it's hard to lift it up when it's going to keep getting knocked over, right? When you're inside the cell cage. This is where the got Drew McIntyre trying to put it right back in the ring, but it's where his back gave out, like with him barely standing right now. This is where he's like, okay, I'm gonna leave it right here, but he left it right in the corner. He throws CM Punk right back in the ring. This is where he slowly got back in the ring. This is where he immediately collapses once he got in the ring. This is where then he tried to pick up CM Punk. This is where then he tried to go for a future shock DDT. This is where CM Punk did try to go for a GTS, which he successfully did, which was a Grand Slam guarantee. This is where he tried to go for a cover. This is where Drew McIntyre get the left shoulder up at 2.99999 double point away from you. This is where Michael Cole's reaction was kind of like Mauro Ranallo when he was like, "Are you kidding me? Mamma mia!" That's where we got both men were down to the ground. Luckily, the referee was not allowed to count. Like, even though there's the limit of matches, but But that's where they managed to get right back up. Well, CM Punk start getting up. This is where he managed to pick up Drew McIntyre. But this is where we got Drew McIntyre lifts him up right into his shoulder. He hit the white noise right through the steel ladder that he brought in the ring, which was Simba, of course. This is where they were like, my back. But this is where we got. This is where Drew McIntyre tried to go for a pin, but he only got a 1. He only got a 2. But once the referee was trying to head for 3, that's where CM Punk got the left shoulder up at 2.9999999. I got inch point of a 1 second away from being 3. But that's where then we got. That's where Drew McIntyre to try to go for a Claymore kick. Like after hitting the signature move, he was like yeah, like that was time to end this prick for the for once and for all. And then that's where then he was like, yeah, like you put my life through hell, you're the reason why I couldn't be the world heavyweight champion less than more than just 5 minutes, like right in front of a live crowd. You knew this was my dreams of becoming a world champion in front of a live crowd, but guess what you did? Like when I had a chance of winning my third title, world title reign in WWE, but this time is in front of 50,000 fans. You screwed me over. And this is where then he tried to go for a fall slam, but this is where then CM Punk then counter out of it. They went sideways, hit the anaconda vice right onto Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre tried to grab onto the wrist to try to use it on his head, but this is where CM Punk snatched out of it. This is where he started sticking onto his hand and started giving him a taste of his own medicine. This is where fans started cheering for CM Punk even more, like if he's still no longer in the company. Like they're just keep chanting like CM Punk, CM Punk, CM Punk repeatedly. And this is where then we got Drew McIntyre's like, no more. Like I cannot. Like you see me, I'm already bloody up. Like this is where the CM Punk like, oh now you're begging for mercy. Now you're pleading with me. And this is where he was about to hit him right into the head with the wrench, but he ends up getting low blow by the Scottish Warrior. He was like, now I'm gonna start a family with AJ, and this is where he started going confused, like a very confused drunk man. This is where Drew McIntyre's like, yeah, I knew you were a liar. You must have had a shot of whiskey like before you came out here. And then this is where then I don't know why I even came up with that. This is where Drew McIntyre grabbed a small black bag, and I was like, like are they bringing back thumbtacks in WWE? Which the last time I saw them, was back like 8 years ago with the 2 certain wrestlers that's no longer there that's no longer WWE. That's both in that other company. Like when they were in that certain asylum match, like that was the last time it was used. But I'm not sure if we use ever again. Like given that they're trying to be more of a family-friendly PG product. But this is where instead of being thumbtacks, this is where they got the broken up. The broken up beads from the custom-made CM Punk bracelets on WWEshop.com. Make sure to get your copy today. This is where they throw it right in front of his head, like when he's hanging onto the steel steps. Is where he was about to claymore him. But this is where CM Punk ran right out of the ring. This is where he slipped on one of the broken up pieces of the beads, of the bracelet. This is where he went back first right in the steel step. This is where Michael Cole's like, oh my God, he must have broken his back. This is where the CM Punk to start putting but some of the broken up beads that was in the bag that was sprawled everywhere in the ring. He put it a handful in the Drew McIntyre's mouth. Get some payback from a few weeks ago, back in August, it wasn't August. It was September, a month ago. This is where CM Punk then picks him up on the shoulders. This is where he hits him with the GTS. He gets the one. Before I say he hit the GTS, he wrapped a rope of chain around his left knee. That's when he hits the go to sleep with him spitting out the pieces of the beads in his mouth. But this is where CM Punk go for the cover. He got the 1, 2, 3, and he finally end this feud once and for all with him barely walking out of the ring. And I like that like when they I like the Hell in a Cell cage that they use for this match. It's like the ones from back in like 15, 20 years ago, like the Hell in a Cell, like from the ruthless aggression era. It's no longer that very freakish and weird looking red sail, like which I know they're trying to make it represent like what it's realistically is like that, and that is the devil's playground. Like, and maybe it does look red, and it does look like that. Like if it is if that like if the devil had a playground that looked exactly like this, yeah, maybe it's like too legitimate and it's too cringy, if I'm being completely transparent. But yeah, like big congratulations to CM Punk. And yeah, what a very entertaining match. Like they did exactly what they said they were going to do. Other than like Drew McIntyre claiming that he's going to finish him once and for all, and also going to kill him, while CM Punk said he's going to do the same for him. But the one thing he did not do is kill him. But that's probably for the best. They're probably going to go in separate ways. And maybe I'll agree with Matt Hardy, or who said that. Like I said it on a podcast. I think it was Matt Hardy, like I just talked about earlier on the wrestling news. Maybe they should split them up in their separate ways and not continue to be, and maybe not be in the same brand. Maybe we could see Drew McIntyre could be moved over to SmackDown. Maybe he could even be maybe he can even go after LA Knight's United States Championship if he cannot go after Cody Rhodes' WWE title, given that he has like plenty of other main eventers that he has to worry about. But let me know down in the comments below if you think that would be a right decision to do, or do you think they should keep them away from each other, and still keep them on the Raw brand at the same time, but put them in different programs. Well, I think they're probably not going to be using Drew McIntyre for the next couple of months until like the end of the year before it turns into 2025, perhaps. But let me know what y'all's opinions are on that note in the comment section right down below. I thought that was a really great match. Yeah, I totally enjoyed that contest. Hopefully, there's going to be plenty of more of CM Punk. Like maybe he can even go after Gunther's title, but maybe like after Crown Jewel, like which y'all probably are wondering why I assume that he's not gonna he's not gonna get a shot. I said he's not gonna get a shot by then, like because like I'm gonna tell you exactly why, because it's been there was a match that's been confirmed on on tonight, like announcement by Triple H, like for those that are aware and unaware of like with the big announcement, which I'm gonna talk about in just a moment. But this is where you move on to the next match, which is the WWE Women's Championship, and this is the match that it mostly happened like I predicted, except for one little detail, and that is the extra person that coming out there and being the screwer upper, like that pretended to be some help. But that did not happen because maybe for a couple of reasons. One of them being that she'd been given an offer that she couldn't refuse, like, and she couldn't be involved in the match anyways. But this is where we got Bayley. Didn't waste no time, just fighting Nia Jackson, sent her right to the bottom corner side once they got in the ring, and then this is where we got Bayley hit the crossbody until they got back in the ring. Nia Jackson dominated her. This is where then she hit her with a couple of running hip attacks. Is where then we got Nia Jax throw up Bayley right onto the what's they called the top the bottom corner ropes. Is where she hits a belly tackle right onto the former women's champion. This is where we got Michael Cole was giving the accolade praise to the man that he used to dislike, the and that is the possible girlfriend of the tight end of the 49ers. But this is where Bayley started fighting back, like once she got right back up. But once she run right to the top corner rope, this is where she got picked up right up on into a bear hug. This is where she started squeezing the role model right in the middle of the ring. This is where she's like, no, you're not going anywhere. This is where she hit Bayley with a sideways single-legged Boston Crab, perhaps. This is where then we got Nia Jackson go for a running belly tackle right onto the role model, sending her right to the left corner apron, picks up Bayley. This is where then she got her right up into like a camel clutch maneuver. This is where Bayley started telling her to get off of me. This is where she picks up the irresistible queen. This is where but this is where she brought her right back down. She had to use her fist because she cannot pick her up more higher. This is where Bailey then gets Irish whip right to the upper right side where they're trying to bring in some offense in onto the queen of the ring. This is where she flipped right over to the right side. This is where she slid. She dodges out of the clothesline that Nia Jax was about to do, slid under between her legs. This is where then Nia Jax tried to spear on the outside, but Bailey sent her right to the left side. This is where then we got Bailey then hits a leg drop right onto the back of the neck of Nia Jax, send her right to the outside, back in the outside, like if Bailey was a female Hulk Hogan, like the way she had the leg drop. I'm not saying she's exactly like the Immortal, but I'm saying like the leg drop looked very similar to how he does it. This is where we got Bailey then run right to the right corner side. This is where then she try to go for a suicide dive, but this is where Nia Jax like, nice try, Bailey. And then this is where then we got Bailey hit a baseball slide. This is where Bailey started hitting some right hand right into the face, pounding away on the irresistible force. This is where then she sent her right back in the ring. This is where then she tried to go for a pin, but this is where Nia Jax immediately kicks out 2.1. This is where then we saw Bailey was like, okay, that did not work, but this is where then she tried to drape her right into the corner, hit her with this running jawbreaker that sent her right to the outside. Bailey did try to attempt to go for a suicide dive, which that's very rare for the role model to do. I haven't seen her did this move, not even when she was the huggable Bailey with the long ponytail. But it's where did she try to go for the suicide dive, which she managed to hit onto Nia Jax, sent her brought right down to the left side of the ringside area. With Bailey getting herself right back up, this is where then Bailey then pick up Nia. This is where then she sent her right back in the ring. This is where then we got the role model. Then but she end up getting headbutted. This is where she got sent right into the upper left side. This is where then we got Nia Jackson pick up the role model, put her right on the top turnbuckle, like but with her hanging sideways, like in the opposite tree of woe position. This is where she hits a belly splash right onto Bailey. This is where she hits another running hip attack onto the role model, which I believe she got the third time is the charm. This is where then we got Nia Jax was about to hit the Annihilator, but this is where Bailey didn't try to go for a sunset flip. But amazingly, Nia Jax nearly hit a Hurricane Rana right on the Bailey when she was trying to counter out of the sunset flip powerbomb from the role model. This is where she did it, but this is where Bailey still oversell by flipping out. This is where Michael Cole was shocked. She was he was like, I think Nia was about to hit the Hurricane Rana. This is where they try to look for the replay. This is where Corey Graves like, I think you're right. Like she was, it looked like she was trying to flip right over it, but Bailey still sell the impact anyways. This is where like Bailey tried to go for Bailey to belly, but I think it got countered by Nia Jax. She had her own version of it, insult to injury, of course. This is where they should go for the pin, but this is where Bailey kicks out at 2.999999999. My mind's going away from me. This is where she got the shoulder up, like right before Jessica Carr could even put her hand on the mat for 3. This is where Nia Jax like, okay, that did not work. Like, and that was her finishing move. Well, then again, that move sucks. So, what was the point? What was me doing? Why I even did that? Why I should have did my own move. That's more. That's like. That's where then. This is where she tried to go for a Samoan drop right off the top, like do an avalanche Samoan drop. But this is where she was like, "Nah, I have a better idea." She snake-eyed Bailey right onto the top turnbuckle. This is where then we got. And where then she flipped her right over, right into the back, into the inner part of the corner. This is where she tried to hit her with a grand slam running hip attack. Like when she had her in the bottom right corner side turnbuckle, in the bottom turnbuckle. This is where Bailey moved out of the way. It was not a grand slam. This is where then Bailey then hits a running knee right to the face, like if she was doing a running knee version of a punt kick. This is where she followed that up with a sunset flip, going into the upper left side and hit her back first right onto the bottom turnbuckle. This is where Bailey was a little banged up, like with her back getting hit by Nia Jax's back right into the turnbuckle. This is where Nia Jax was getting elbow dropped by Bailey. This is where Bailey then went right up on the top rope onto the bottom left side. About to hit this Macho Woman elbow drop, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, this is where she hits the elbow strike. This is where like Unlike what they did for Naomi, like when her match against Naomi a week ago to get this number one contender spot, this is where Nia Jax did the complete opposite. Got her shoulder up at 2.9999999 up to a point away from being 3. This is where then this is where then that's where Bailey started wrapping onto her legs. She was like, "Oh, I'm in total pain. Like, why it have to be so much brutal right now?" This is where then Nia Jackson sarcastically sound like she's gonna help her, saying like, "Oh, like you have a little boob. Like here, let the queen heal it up for you." And this is where she tried to the bulldozer and her banged up leg right onto some of the steel steps on the upper left side, but this is where Bailey moved out of the way. She knew a trick to dodge with Nia Jackson, not only her head first, but also in the arm. Oh, I totally forgot to tell you like about the Drew McIntyre match between CM Punk. And not only Drew McIntyre lost like in the final match of the feud, but this is he's still in the losing streak when it comes to being inside Hell in a Cell. Like with it being 0-3, with Michael Cole mentioning that the last 2 matches were against Randy Orton at 2020 for the WWE Championship and against Bobby Lashley the following year in 2021. And that's very interesting. Michael Cole mentioned his name, which I believe that will be the last time in a while. The next time we will be hearing somebody name drops Bobby Lashley in WWE, even despite being in the new era, like given that Lashley is rumored to be prepared to make his debut over in the other companies at pay-per-view. But anyway, let's move on. But yeah, but it was all about Drew McIntyre. He haven't got a chance to win a Hell in a Cell match. I don't think he's ever going to be doing that. He's doing that anytime soon. Let's hope that he will one day. But this is where then we got. But anyway, back to the Bailey versus Nia match. This is where we got Bailey hits the elbow drop. This is where she tried to get her back in the ring before the referee could count to 2. This is where she was the count of 6. This is where Bailey redid the count by going right back in the ring and then going right out. This is where then Bailey to go for a step up, like stepping stool crossbody right off the steel steps when she went right from the top court. She gets hit with a punch right into her midsection. This is where Nia Jax like, "Oh, you think you could easily snuck up on me? Like I knew your tricks the whole time." And then this is where then Nia Jax then grabs the role model, throws. This is where then she hits the power bomb back first right onto those exact same steel steps. This is where then she slammed her back first, sliding her right into the barricade, right to the upper right side. This is where then she managed to throw her right back in the ring. This is where we got Nia Jax was like, "Oh, hell, you're queen. Like, you better do what you can, or else I won't show no mercy." And that's why fans are like, "We don't care what you don't show. Like, we're not going to we don't have no respect or no acknowledgement of you. Like you're just like a heavy set female version of your cousin." This is where Nia Jackson tossed Bailey right into the right corner side. Here's where she hits her with a pop-up Samoan drop. Well, she only got like half of it, like sideways. This is where Bailey gets hit back first. This is where she tried to go for a cover. This is where the referee counted 1, referee counted 2. But it's where Bailey kicks out at 2.8 with Nia Jackson. "I said I was at 2. I said, hey, got me." And that should have been a 3 right there. Like no matter what, this is where then. And then Nia Jax like, "No matter, because I know that she's not going to be kicking out in this move and that." And she was kind of telling the truth right here because nobody has ever kicked out of the Annihilator, but this is where